country in world business and trade. Both famous for her strength and beauty, Japan continues to fascinate the world. As we look around us, we can see skyscrapers and busy streets, fields, farmlands, and fisheries, and traditions that have lasted for thousands of years.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate the portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate. We cannot.
Today, we have great pleasure to present a part of what we have been studying at S&S. We had a chance of studying about slavery, Northern and Southern War, statement of Lincoln, Martin Luther King, etc. The thing that gave us the biggest impact was the terrorist attack of the Twin Tower building in New York on September 11th, 2001. I was watching TV, and it really looked like a movie. The gigantic towers fell down to the ground with enormous smoke. This Constitution has a long preamble which explains the contents of the Constitution. Let me recite you the whole, though it is a bit long. We, the Japanese people, acting through our duly elected representatives in the National Diet, determine that we shall secure for ourselves and our posterity the fruits of peaceful cooperation with all nations and the blessings of liberty throughout this land. Thank you, Akimichi. It was wonderful. It is really a long preamble. I hope our audience has understood that. Anyway, let's go into more detail about the characteristics of the Japanese Constitution. When we compare the actual Constitution with the old Constitution, we find striking differences. That is, who has sovereign power? Sovereign power means who is a country for. This is essential and has an absolute importance. Before Japan was defeated in World War II, the emperor was regarded as living God. The second main characteristic of the Constitution is the renunciation of war. It is stipulated in Chapter 3. The Article 9 says as follows: aspiring sincerely to an international peace based on justice and order, the Japanese people forever renounce as a sovereign right of the nation, and the threat or use of force as a means of settling international disputes. In order to accomplish the aim of the preceding
The third one is that Japanese people have fundamental rights, and these rights must be utmost respected. It is described by Article 13 of Chapter 3 as follows: all of the people shall be respected as individuals. Their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness shall, to the extent that it does not interfere with the public welfare, be the supreme.
Hello. First, I would like to thank you for inviting me here today. My name is Helen Keller. I am honored to be given this opportunity to speak to you and the students about my life. I am deaf and blind. That means that I cannot see. I cannot hear. A college professor once asked me what I wanted to do after graduating from college. This was an easy decision for me. I told him I wanted to dedicate my life to children and to improving the welfare of the deaf and blind persons all over the world. Yes, I went to